I'm here with Robert Abela from Melapress, and we are in Krakow at WordCamp Europe. Robert and Melapress have been working with Pooka over the last few years. We thought we'd take a quick moment amongst the busyness of the conference to chat to him about working with Pooka and developing a custom theme and website for the company. So Robert, could you tell me a little bit about what you do and what Melapress does?
Sure. I'm Robert Abela. I'm the founder of Melapress, and we develop a number of WordPress security and user management plugins to help website administrators manage their users and manage the security of the website. We don't do the usual firewall security, we focus more on the visibility, authentication, user management, and helping users keep their accounts secure on their website.
Which I imagine is quite an important part of managing a website in today's world. Have you seen a lot of changes over the years in terms of security?
Things are definitely changing. I mean, security, it's always a bit of a cat and mouse game. So like attackers are always finding different innovative ways how to hack websites and how to take over websites. With AI, the process has really accelerated, so it's moving much faster. So it's been really, it's been always hard catching up, but it's getting harder. So, and users are nowadays a bit more prone because, of course, like even if you look at phishing attacks because of AI, they're becoming really, really sophisticated. I've heard a joke lately. I was at CloudFest, and some security expert joked that phishing emails actually nowadays are better than the actual original ones. So yeah, it is changing a lot. And it's a always evolving industry.
Yeah, of course. And so for Melapress, do you have customers across the world, or are you seeing it in specific places, specific countries?
No, we've always been an international company. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but the biggest market for us is the US.
Okay.
Then there's like a bunch of countries, Western Europe, and then the rest of the world follows. But yeah, we're all over. We have customers from Australia, Asia, Europe, Africa, and also America, Canada, and South America.
And it's specific for WordPress?
Yes, we focus purely on WordPress. Yes, just plugins for WordPress.
And was that a really intentional decision from the beginning?
Yes. I mean, like for me, like if I had to start something else, I would prefer to start a new brand or something because it makes it a bit easier. We already had a bit of challenge in the past because in the past we have 4 plugins. In the past we had like individual websites for each, so it was always a bit of challenge which plugin to sponsor, which name to use. So yeah, when we worked with Pooka, actually one of the biggest thing was like we merged everything under one umbrella brand, which is Melapress.
And that brings us nicely onto the website. So prior to working with Pooka, what was it that you needed a site to do for you and Melapress?
Yes, we sell software online on our own website. So of course we had the whole checkout system and stuff. But as I was saying, like the biggest job was we had 4 individual websites, one for each plugin, and we had to merge. So yeah, when we worked with Pooka, first we started with a designer as well, who's very close to Pooka, Ben, helped us like bring things together. For me it was handy because I knew Marcus from Pooka for a few years before from the Edinburgh meetup, also Ben. I know they knew each other, so it made it much easier rather than me having to juggle between the designer and Pooka. Like, you know each other, we had a good number of meetings and they could run on their own basically. And we were looking, for, as I said, completely new website. So it's what we have. The website, we have the checkout, knowledge base, we have like any other website, a business case study. So you have a lot of different sections in the website. Yeah.
And was it important for you to pick a supplier or a website developer who really understood WordPress and what it was capable of doing?
Yes, first of all, we develop our own plugins, we have our own developers. However, I want my developers to focus on building the plugins. It was very important because we've worked with other agencies in the past. Like everything else, we had some good experiences, bad experiences. But yeah, like for example, I remember the first time I worked with an agency, it was when the whole block editor started. And we wanted to take advantage of that one because, as you know, the website, maybe every couple of years you change your website, but you keep it for a number of years, so you don't want to have something locked in. And I remember the first website we had gotten was quite locked in, very heavily customized. So I wanted someone that is not just uses WordPress, but wanted someone who is in touch with the WordPress industry and knows, oh, where WordPress is heading, what are they doing, how should we build websites. So that was very important for us.
And you said that you knew Marcus through WordPress meetups.
Yes, the Edinburgh meetup.
Were there other things that attracted you to want to work with Pooka and its approach to website design?
Yes, first of all, it was the personal service, but also because it's not like one of those big agencies where you might speak today, you speak to someone, the other day speak to someone else. I had a very personalized service. I could speak to Marcus, I could speak to Ben. They can go together. So it was a very professional, but also at the same time personalized service. So there was like, also it wasn't like, hey, here's your website, bye. It's a whole. Even during the building process, we had a few meetings, discussed some things. Oh, let's change this. I don't like this or whatever. We had all these discussions. So it wasn't just, okay, here's the website, here's the contract, and it was a whole process. It took actually a few months, considering the whole branding and change. It had to take some months. But it was more of, they were part of the project. It wasn't just, we weren't just their client, like, here's your website and move on, So it was a more of a, I wouldn't say partnership, but something project we're working on together.
That's fantastic. I think collaboration and partnership is sometimes really core to success and understanding. What you need to achieve, and then what we can deliver, and working together to find those solutions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're 2-3 years on now.
Yeah.
How are you finding the website? Were there processes or support that Pooka has been able to provide over that period that's really helped you develop the site, grow the site, or find areas that you want to improve?
Yeah, a website is almost a living thing. That's what we say in security. So of course, you're always adding some functionality, changing some pages. So it's a living thing. So there are components which are changing. So once we had the website, once we launched it, we still had an ongoing relationship where every so often we need to change, I don't know, this style of the knowledge base items, we need to change this, or even sometimes you make an update, something stops working, it's normal. So we've had an ongoing relationship. From time to time we book some hours and we work on some projects. A bit of everything, a bit of maintenance, but also changes we do changes quite often, especially when we release new features. We need maybe some special call out on the product pages and stuff. So we've had an ongoing relationship.
And talking about relationships, we're here in Krakow, like I mentioned at the top of this, for WordCamp. This is my second WordCamp, but I understand that you've been to a few over the years?
I've been from the first WordPress Europe in Leiden.
Wow.
Since 2013. So it's around me.
Yeah. And have you seen a lot of change over that time?
Yes, Leiden, I remember there were just 2 small halls, just a few vendors. It wasn't local because it was all Europe, but it was still much, much smaller. As you can see, even from the venue, it became, before it was, I wouldn't say not professional, but it was more like a group effort kind of thing. But now it's clearly much more professional, many more vendors, many more attendees. There's much more going on. Because I remember usually the first WordCamp Europe was the event, and then there was the after party. Just yesterday, I don't know how many side events there were. It changed a lot. It changed. I mean, like everything else, there are good points and bad points. The good points is you meet much more people. Many other vendors. It's not just about customers, it's also building relationships with other vendors and stuff like that. So it's really nice. Sometimes, I think like everything else, you miss the small, intimate, small places, but no, overall, I'm personally, I think this has been, I say it every year most probably, but it's been the best one so far. So hopefully next year we'll exceed that.
It just keeps building and building.
Exactly, yeah.
And it's the community as well, isn't it, around WordPress, and it goes beyond sort of just being a piece of software or code, but more about the people behind it and what we can do with open source.
Yeah. It's not just a piece of software. It's not. It's most of us work remotely from home. So it's an excuse to come here with meet the team. But also I have some friends here which I meet year on year. I've known year on year. And whenever there's a WordCamp in someone's country, they always say, "Oh, come to our house." It became much more. It's friendship. It's community. It's much more than software. It's a whole moving thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, just to finish up, I'd love to ask if there are other clients out there or people looking for a website developer, what would you say to them if they ask you about working with Pooka?
We use them ourselves. I remember even in the early days, when I started with WordPress, there was this whole thing about affiliates and stuff. When I started with some affiliate content, I had some affiliates, but I always recommend, I only recommend things that I use myself. And Pooka, I've used them myself, I've worked with them, I still work with them. So yeah, I mean, if they're good for me, I expect like other vendors, other people who need the websites, yeah, they'll definitely give you a good service, that's for sure.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us.
Thanks. It's been great.
Wonderful. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks. Thank you very much.